amigos, I am Rodolfo Ramos, Bradesco BBI's Mexico strategist, and welcome to This What's What in Mexico, our bi-weekly video product. As you can already tell today, we have a very special treat for you. We are here at Sigma's Chill Distribution Center in Mexico, to be more precise, in Monterrey. And Sigma is a Mexican multinational food company with operations in over 17 countries. And I am joined here today by their CFO, Roberto Olivares. Thank you, Roberto, for the very kind invitation to be here today.
Welcome, Rodolfo, and welcome everyone to our Chill Distribution Center.
As we normally do, we're going to be covering 5 topics here of discussion that you can later reference in the chapters in this video. But we're going to kick off here by having Roberto giving us a little bit of an intro of where we are sitting here today. How does this Chill Distribution Center link to Sigma's supply chain? And if he can share some of the metrics coming out of this distribution center.
Thank you, Rodolfo. So, one of our big differentiators in the market is our cold chain distribution center. Just in Mexico, we reach close to 350,000 points of sales at least once a week through our network of distribution centers, more than 100 in Mexico. And vehicles, a vehicle fleet to reach that distribution center. So it's very important for us. Just for reference, we have close to 50,000 orders per day of products. We participate in the processed meat, in the cheese and the yogurt categories in Mexico. And as you can see, this has to be very tight given our cold chain to be able to complete with quality and consistency the service to our consumers.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you, Roberto. The second point here that I wanted to touch on, and this is something that is very top of mind for investors, is the more cautious consumer that we've seen over the year or maybe a little bit more here in Mexico. So can you tell us a little bit about how is Sigma coping with this more challenging environment in terms of consumer behavior?
Sure. So yes, we're seeing a softer consumer confidence, particularly in the previous months. The good part about Sigma is that we have a broad spectrum of brands to be able to catch consumers as they trade down or trade up whenever there's difference in the economic cycles. So we are seeing recently more volume coming from our value brands, but we have the opportunity to offer our consumers similar products just at a more affordable prices. And affordability and convenience is one of our innovation work streams that we work every year to be able to satisfy our consumers.
Perfect. Thank you, Roberto. The third point that I wanted to touch on here, it's a little bit more forward-looking, and it's about the consumer outlook for next year. We've seen a government that has been, with a much greater focus on social agenda, pushing for a very high minimum wage adjustment. So these are some of the drivers that have pushed consumer in the past and will continue going forward. So wanted to get a little bit of a sense. This year has been challenging. Next year might start to look out better, but what are some of your expectations for next year?
Sure. So this year in particular has been challenging due to raw material price increases that we have suffered, particularly in Turkey. I will say that despite that, we have been managed to satisfy our consumers, offering products with quality at good prices, to be able to for them to continue having our products. I will say we will continue to do that as next year's evolve. We're looking into a better next year, particularly because we think raw material is going to go a little bit down, and with that, hopefully volume will start to grow, to come back.
Perfect. And the fourth point here of discussion that I wanted to talk on is a little bit more strategic, and it's about your portfolio of products and your geography. So, if we're looking a little bit more long term, what are some of how do you foresee, how do you wish Sigma's portfolio look like in terms of products and also in terms of geographies?
Sure. So right now we operate in 17 countries, and we mainly participate in the processed meat, in the cheese and yogurt categories. But we're a protein company. We're always looking into opportunities to enter into new categories to satisfy our consumers. We're actually exploring or piloting some ideas into snacking and plant-based. Recently, we have been working the last years around that. We're also exploring on how, particularly, we can influence health of our consumers through food, and this is a vertical that we're exploring. Also, how to come up with responsible proteins, a more responsible way to source proteins around the world, and that is part of our strategy for the long term. At the end, we want to double the size of a business in 10 years. That is our ambition.
Okay.
And we need our core to continue to do that, but also exploring and to get into new categories is essential for that.
Perfect, great. And to close here on our fifth point of discussion, I wanted to talk about innovation within the company. I know you have an R&D center here in Monterrey. So if you can tell us a little bit about Sigma's efforts in terms of innovation and perhaps some concrete examples for us to look at of what has been the product of these efforts.
Sure. So R&D is another capability that is very important for us. We have the capability to formulate products in a way that they're delicious, that they have very good quality or nutritional profile, and also that they are affordable for our consumers. And we have two big R&D centers, one here in Monterrey and another one in Europe. And out of that R&D, there's a lot of innovation that has came out. So we have, let me give you the example of a yogurt. You know how protein is becoming more relevant, and the grams of protein per package is becoming more relevant, and we have been able to introduce more grams of protein in our product in a way that the consistency and the quality is very good. This is a yogurt in our Mexico division. It's called Skid. Is more a salt. Is more a harder yogurt. With very good flavor. We have been working with snacking, so I talked to you that meat snacking particularly is becoming more relevant, and this product also came out of our R&D center. It's like a dry salami that for snacking. It also has very good grams of protein.
Spicy.
And obviously here in Mexico, spices is something that is relevant. And there's different products. So these are kind of the products that we sold mostly here in Mexico. A lot has to do in the north of Mexico. A lot has to do with grilling. Then we have some cheese.
For those that don't know, the northern Mexico is notorious for being very particular about their barbecuing and grilling. So carne asada, cabrito, all of these things are quite the best up here in Mexico.
And we're even exploring in these are ready to drink beverages, and we're exploring some indulgence vertical as well. So this is like a milkshake with some different flavors. So a lot of innovation coming out of our R&D centers. Innovation represents close to 10% of our sales right now. So the products that we have launched in the last 3 years represent close to 10% of our sales.
That's significant.
And that is a number that we want to continue keeping up to be able to reach our ambition. No?
Perfect. No. Well, thank you very much, Roberto, for your whole team's hospitality here and inviting us. I hope that you found it useful, and feel free to follow us in social media, our reports, and I hope that they allow me to take some goodies back home here. Until the next one, amigos, take care. Ciao, ciao.